fun popped out. Oh shit, sorry, I'm bothering you again. Damn it.
So we're going to start the Unreal Engine. Launch the engine or whatever, however you do it. Here's my Vietnam game. I'll go ahead and open that. And I'm going to go in and open a new level. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete these. I don't need them. And the first thing that we're going to do is build a material, which this is, like I say, this is my generic way of doing it. I'm not very good at it, but I've already got one built here for another map that I did, and I can show you real quick. Actually, that's what I should do. We'll just go File, Open Level, and I'll open one of the levels that I've got done here. Better label this here Deco. It's going to load Way, and here's the map Way, which is what I've been kind of working on. It's a very generic level here. Let me speed up my camera speed because the map is huge. And as you can see, if you zoom away, we don't have no tiling textures, and this is a huge map. And I'm in the process of building some better terrain textures and everything, but this doesn't look too awful bad. I mean, like I said, it needs a lot of work, but it's a start. And if we play from here, if you jump in, you can see what I mean about how big this map really is. It's huge, and it's, you know, it's pretty decent textures. These are all textures that I took right out of the Unreal Engine, and I'll show you guys how I did it. And like I say, I'm sure there's a bunch of better ways to do it, but anyhow, we'll get out of that and I'll show you how we do it. So I'm going to go back and reopen my level that I was just working on. It's a blank map. And let's see here. I guess the best thing would be to do is just build a material to show you how to do this. And you can build it anywhere you want. Go to materials and come down in here somewhere, and I just go up here to new material, and I'm going to name it Dacto Matte Material. Click enter. There's your new material. Here's your material editor, and I hope I can do all this right. I got 4 monitors on my computer, and I get stuff lit up, and I think you guys are seeing it, and you might not be. But anyhow, here we go. So let's see if I can shrink this down or something. So you're going to need some material. You're going to need some whole bunch of stuff, and I just go over here and I rob it straight out of here. I go to their materials, and here's their ground grass. I open it up. Let's maximize this now and zoom out. Move this out of the way, and you're going to want to drag a left click and drag a marquee box over the entire everything you can see here possibly, and then I hit Control C to copy, and then you go back to your new one zoom out, move over, and then wherever your pointer's at, that's where it's going to paste it, and you want to go Control V. And there it pops the whole network in. That's the grass. And we're going to scroll down here. We'll go back to, we need to go back to our content browser, find another material, which I'm just going to use this gravel for now. Ground gravel, generic. Double click on it. It opens it up. Move your just out of the way. You're going to do the same thing again. You're going to zoom out with your scroll wheel and then drag and drop a, oops, gee, you gotta love that. That is way too touchy. Drag and drop a box, same thing, Control C, copy that, go back up to your material you're building, and we want to paste it in right about here, so Control V, and there's everything you need there. And you know, for the other material, I've been cheating, and I just used their grass here, the grass one. And you know what? Drag a box over everything is what I do. Keep thinking, oh man, I hate when it does that. That is so aggravating. So drag a box over it, hit the C button. It comments all this out. You want to change the name of this comment to grass, because this is very important. You got to keep all these names exactly the same. And you got to make sure that it's the right capitalization and everything, or it won't work right. It causes problems. So I'm gonna, jeez. Okay, so we want to comment this out. And this. Let me see here exactly what we want to name these. I think we had grass, dirt, and rock. So I'm going to name this one rock. And then, like I say, we want to take this complete network here. Let's see if we can't get some more room here to do this, because we don't need all this and this. We want to copy this again, the whole thing, because we're going to cheat and reuse this. So I'm just going to Control C, and then I'm going to move down here for our third texture, or our material. Control V again. There it is. Now I want to change this to dirt. Right? Yeah, we got grass, rock, and dirt. Alright. And so, first thing I end up doing is I start out with, I right click, and I go down here to double click on landscape, and then you want a landscape layer weight. It pops in. And here we go again with the naming convention. It has to be very important. So this layer weight has to be named grass. And I'm going to copy this, the layer weight. I'm going to come down here next to our rock, and I'm going to paste it in. Control V. Oops. And same thing, we want to make sure that it's named exactly the same, which is rock. And then we want to come down here and paste another one in. Same thing as what we did, just Control V again. And we want this to be named dirt. And now we can start hooking these up. And if you don't remember exactly, you can go back and look at the default, like here's the M ground, and you can see how it's hooked up here. This is what I'm basically doing. You can see that the lerp was into the base color, because that's what we're working on now. We're going to hook all three of them materials or textures into the base color using the layer weight. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to left click drag and drop a wire, and we want to go into the layer on every one of these. We can go up and do it like that. I guess that'd keep it simple. Get this, drag it down to where it's easy. Out of your multiply on this default one because it's different. Layer. And just lerp into layer. Okay. Now I always start from the bottom up to connect all these together. So I come down here, I pull off this side, and we want to go into the base of the one above it. Wait till you get the check mark. There you go. Take this one and go up to the next one. And I'm using the scroll wheel as I go because it's hard to move. This is such a large network back in the base. Then you take this one and you want to plug it into your main. It's hard to do here. There we go. Base color. And don't worry about this yet because it's never going to read it right because we got so many of them plugged in here. And then what I do is I go back again. I hold my left shift button. I highlight one. I go down. Click again, holding the shift button, and you can see that they're lighting up orange. And now I do the, now I need another copy of all three of these, so I'm going to hit Control C, and then Control V, and then I'm going to try to defaultly drag and line these up. This is going to be for the normals, and we're going to repeat the same thing again, except we're going to use the normal part of it, which is coming out of this lerp into layer. We can scroll up. And here's the normals for this one, and we want to go right into the layer. Same with this one, normals in the layer. And then we want to plug the end of this top one into the normals. And there's our normals. Now we got to do this over again one more time, so copy and paste all these again using the left shift, Control C, Control V, and what we're doing here is we're going to hook up for the roughness. So you want to get these close so you can work with them. And we're going to do the same thing. This here, I know this was the roughness for this particular material, so we're going to go in the layer here. And here's the roughness here. To layer. And here's the roughness for this. To layer. And then we want to drag out of here into roughness. Alright, there. Nope, we still got, I want to show you how I cheated the grass. This bottom one that we labeled dirt, we've got some cheating to do here, and I really wish I had a way. What? No, I don't want it. No, we don't want to change any of that. I don't know why. You can hit apply and save right now too to save your work because it took us a while to get that far. I would hate to lose this. But anyhow, we want to change this bottom grass other than grass, and let's see if I can do this right here. We want to go and find a texture, and see if I can find the land texture. Okay, there it is. What I did is I went in the marketplace. Before you load up Unreal, go to the marketplace and open up the, let's see, I can show you here. Marketplace, you want to go and install, where is it? Right here, the content examples. believe I'll launch one here for you. We'll launch a whole nother editor, and I'm going to go to, let's see here, we'll just create a default one. I think I'm messing up. Because I wanted to load that content examples, and I did, so I'm just going to exit out of this. I want to go to my library. That's where I goofed up, because I've already got it downloaded. Go to content examples, open it up. And here's your content examples. Go to file up here. And you want to go to open level, and you want to scroll down through here to where you get landscapes. Open this one up. Now in the landscape here, I click on the landscape itself, and here comes our landscape material. I click on the magnifying glass to show it in the content browser. Here it is over here. And then what I did is I went from here, I right click on it, and you want to go to migrate. And you want to migrate these, hit OK. I'm going to cancel out, but when you go to migrate, you have to go to where your projects are stored, basically, and it's gonna be in the user of the computer name, like mine, my name, and then it's gonna be under documents, and then it's gonna be under Unreal projects, and then here's my Vietnam project, and you want to make sure you're on the content folder, and then click OK, and then that's gonna ship everything you need from that material over to your content browser. I'm not going to do it because it'll make duplicates, and I've got enough of them already going. I'm going to close out of this, and right here it is. I've already got it migrated over. So if you go here, and I typed in land in my filters, it's going to show everything, and right here is the forest ground and the normal for it, and we need both these two. So what you're going to do is come back over to here. First thing you want to do is make sure you highlight ground. You want it highlighted because that has to be highlighted, because you're going to come over here and you're going to go over to this texture sample, and now in this texture sample you're going to want to hit the arrow key, which is going to change that over to that ground. And then there's another one you got to change. Same thing. Come up here to this one and hit the arrow key, change that over to the ground texture. All we're doing is we're cheating. That's what at least that's the way I feel. We're cheating. We want to change this far distance color to something that looks like this color. So you want to double click on it, open it up. You want to get this into kind of a brownish color, or whatever you think, a little darker, something like that. Click OK, and there we go. Alright, so that part's taken care of. Now we got to do the normal. Here's the normal texture sample. We don't want the old grass normal, so we got to go back. Here's our ground normal. So highlight that, like I said, then you go back to your material, click on this, and then click the arrow, and it automatically moves the texture, the normal texture file over for you. Okay, there's everything we need. That we cheated that. Now it says it's doing all this work. I mean, I know there's different tweaks you can do to this, but I'm just giving you the basic idea. I'm going to click save again, apply, and save. So now we've got our material built, and we got to build the material first. So this is done. I'm going to minimize. We're going to go back. I'm going to make some more real estate for us to see here, and we want to get in our filters, make sure you're under game up here, don't have a bunch of stuff in there because it'll mess up your filter, and go to whatever material you just made, and ours was Dacto. So I'm just going to type in Dac. There's our material. Okay, get that highlighted, come up to land, and let me scroll down some here, give some more. Okay, you see right here there's 0 layers and 0 elements, and that's because we don't have a material applied yet, but that's why we built the material first. So we're going to go to import from file. This is creating our landscape, and we want to go get the TerreSculptor file that we exported. So we're going to go find our file that we saved from TerreSculptor, not our height maps. Let's see here. F. Here's our folder, and right here it's going to be this compressed dacto, and it's our 16-bit. Yeah, and that's something else too. You'll want to have WinRare installed on your machine if you already don't. I don't know why it changes it over into a WinRare file, but that's why you see the books. But it doesn't matter. You click on it, you click open, and you can already see it brought in the landscape. It's not textured yet, but we're going to set that up. So make sure your dacto material that you just built is highlighted, and come over here to the arrow and load that in. As soon as you do, now you can see we got layers and 3 elements. You open those up, and there they are. There's our grass, rock, and dirt. And now we need to associate those with the layers that we made in TerreSculptor. So you open this back up, and here you go again. Very important. You got to go to all files. And there's our files. There's our grass, rock, and dirt. And this is important. We know that our first one is the grass, so we want to click on grass and open. You get this right here, but don't worry about this yet. It'll be gone in a second. And then the next one is our rock. And every time you got to go over here and all files. There's your rock. Open it up. Come down here. Same thing. All files. And you want to go to dirt. Open it up. Alright. Now, here it gets rid of the red exclamation mark. You got to hit the plus sign. You want to make sure you hit a non-weight blend layer. Just leave it default. It'll automatically click OK. Now it's gone. Do it again. Non-weight blend layer for the next one. Same thing, default. I just let everything go default. Non-weight blend layer. Okay, there we go. We got it all set up properly. Now we go down to the bottom and we hit import. And if everything works out right, we'll have our landscape. Hit the import button. It's going to take a little while to import everything. My machine, I have a 12-core Xeon processor, and it's clocked at 3.3, and I have 24 gigs of RAM, and I'm using a GTX 680 with 4 gigs of RAM on the video card. It's an HVGA motherboard, 3-way classified. Here comes all our shaders in. It's compiling everything. It takes a little while, even with I think my system's pretty good. I've got the 840 Pro Samsung SSD drives, and even with all the greatest, it takes forever. Seems like it to me anyhow. And there's our map, and there's our marker. Now, you know, that kind of looks odd, but what I do is I just go to the manual sculpting tools and I get rid of that. But at least I know on my map where that battle happened. That's where it happened. That's the longitude and latitude you set in. You know, and I can't figure a better way of doing it. So, you know, like I say, I manually sculpt that out. I'll sculpt that back down to the level ground around it, you can see. But at least I know where it's at. And if you notice, we have no tiling textures, which is awesome. Because in Unreal 3, I could never figure out how to get away from that. And I mean, it's pretty awesome. Like I say, you guys, you can go back and you can paint all these textures. You can add more textures, whatever you want to do. But at least the map has got textures on it, and this is a huge map. And I'll spawn in up here on this hill real quick to kind of show how big it really is. I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, if you wanted to sit here, I mean, like even this hill in the background, look how long it's going to take to walk over there. It's quite this large map, but looks like the normals are hooked up. The lighting needs rebuilt. That's why we're getting kind of them black little holes in the ground there. But even on the ground, there's no tiling textures. These kind of almost start to look like they're tiling, but once you rebuild the lighting, and that will take a while on this size of map. It takes quite some time. You got to put a light mass volume in and everything. But it don't look too bad. But like I say, I'd love to hear some comments from anybody else. This has been a long video, and hopefully it helps other people. Hopefully I can get help from other people to help me to make this even better. Because like I said, I'm sure there's better ways of doing this. I'm not very good at this stuff, but this is the way I found to get it to work. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, and I know this will be a big help for me in about 2 or 3 months when I need to go back to figure out how to redo it. Alright, have a good one.